Adam, what can you tell us about this team? We'll start with Nick. Is Nick going to play?
He's unlikely. Yeah, we'll see how he goes today. We've got main training this afternoon, or this morning, so we'll see how he feels, see how he pulls up, but he's probably 50-50 at best.
If he does not play, is it Bailey Williams, rucking? Is that
probably? Yeah. There's not. Bailey's pretty good at Waffle Eagles. I think there's only 3 or 4 that listed players that played in trying conditions, and I think he's probably our best. So, not to say he's gone back and worked on everything and he's a perfect player, but he's had a really good exposure this year, Bailey, and if he plays this week, he'll get another chance to take a step forward.
With Nick, is it just about whether he's okay for this week, or is it, well, there's risk, you don't want him to make it any worse, or can he not make it any worse?
I don't think he can make it any worse, but obviously he was a bit down last week on his performance, so there's that too, just his ability to play. So, that's what we've got to take into account. So he's just hanging on. So if he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, then we get him right for next year.
And Willie, has he returned to the club?
Yeah, Junior's back. Yeah, he's back yesterday. So really proud that he's decided to come back and finish off the season. It's been a really difficult month for him personally, and got back yesterday and he'll play this week.
Geelong's a difficult place to travel to, and when you're not going great and it's the final round of the season, it's dangerous 300th. What are you going to it hoping to achieve, I guess?
Look, I think, and I know there's a lot of talk around and how bad our year's been, and I'm sure you'll tell me all the stats about what may happen and what has happened. But we've had a bit of growth in the back half of the year with what we've had available and what we're trying to do, and we haven't won, so we get that, and we deserve the criticism. But we've seen some improvement in some of the things we're trying to work on. So that won't change this week. How we put pressure on our tackle efficiency, contested ball, the efforts all around that is probably the stuff that we can control. And I think we've got a little bit better at it. It just hasn't turned into wins. In particular, since the bye, I think we've been within, 3 or 4 goals at three-quarter time every week, and we just haven't been able to get over the line. So our attitude won't change. And it's going to be a pretty big challenge against the top of the table side at one of their legends of the club's 300s. But that doesn't change what we should be trying to do.
Is there an element of trying to mitigate a disastrous performance when you're trying to build confidence into a new season?
Not really. No, I don't think that's the way to go about it. We'll go and try and play our way and try and work on the things we've been working on, regardless of personnel or who we're playing. So that hasn't really entered our mind.
There's a good chance you'll make a fair few changes at the end of the year. How many players do you think are running out there this week thinking this could be my last game or my last shot to show that I deserve to be here again?
Oh, look, I think that happens every year, especially when you don't play finals. So the players' mindset's really important, that they stay on task, with what the game presents. So we're not really talking about that or thinking about that. I got asked it yesterday in an interview that I think a few people leveraged off. It just happens every year, especially when you don't play finals and you've won 2 games. There's going to be change. So hopefully they play in the right way and stay on task with the game.
Have you ever, in the past, don't know specifics obviously, but have you ever seen a player sort of change the direction of their career in one game and get another contract based on one performance? Does that happen, or is that fairy tale stuff?
I suppose it's happened. I haven't thought about it too much. I mean, we're not making list decisions on the last game of the year, so it's not really a relevant conversation, to be honest. I mean, the game's the game, and we'll make decisions at the end of the season. There's another 2 Waffle Eagles games, which hopefully we'll get a good number to play in. There should be 14 or 15 playing in those games, and we'll make decisions when the time's right.
Talking about players staying on, Shuey, one more year. How important is he for the club next season?
Yeah, well, he's our captain, and he's played a good 7 or 8, 9 games in a row now. So there's growth there. He's probably not back to his ultimate best, but I can see some really good signs that he's got his body right, got a good program in place. They've done a really good job to get him back, and then there's still some good footy left. So despite the reports of his wage being a little bit out of whack, it's good to see him back next year.
And talk us through the severity of Jake Waterman. How bad is that knee?
It's not too bad. No, he played with it the last 3 weeks. So it just got to the point where he was too sore. And on the weekend, he had a bit of a job on Cox, and we thought he did a really good played a really good role there. But outside of that, he didn't have a lot more movement in him, so we had to shut him down.
And Jamie Cripps, it's his 200th game for the club. Could you just tell us a bit about him as
Oh, he's probably the most loved player on our list. You know, he came here from the Saints pretty much the year or two after before I got here, and he's 7th or 8th on the all-time goal kicking list. Quiet achiever. You wouldn't have seen him do too many press. Has he done one this week?
No.
And that's just who he is. He's his own man, and he's very much loved and respected. So, you know, hopefully we can put a good effort in for him.
Andrew Gaff looked a bit sore this
Yeah.
week. Is he going to be okay to play?
Hope so. Yeah, we'll see how he goes today. He's been carrying a little bit as well, so he's doing the right thing for the club. Can't get any worse, but, you know, one game to go. Hopefully he gets up. But if he doesn't, you know, we won't play him.
You
Obviously.
mentioned the Waffle side, next 2 games. Is it going to be a mix of older players and younger players, or be players that haven't had as much exposure? What are you looking to get out of those 2 games?
Yeah, it's an opportunity to play football. You know, a lot of our list has played seniors this year, so it's probably based on how many games they've played, who's come back from injury, who hasn't played a lot of footy. Try and keep building that connection and synergy with our list. Rob Wiley, we appreciate more than 5 players from our list as well. So, yeah, there's still some work to do there, and we'll work through what needs to happen after this game.
Jai Cully be available for Geelong?
Yeah, he'll play. Yep, obviously missed a couple of weeks through suspension, and he's a bit tight in the hamstring, but he's right to go.
How many fit players do you have with Jake out and possibly Nick as well?
27, 28 probably. So that happens this time of year. Just fortunately it happened to us about around 10, and we've been hanging on ever since. So without making any excuses for what's happened, we've dealt with a bit this year, and hopefully we get a really good summer. Everyone gets healthy, gets fit, and gets available, and then we get to the draft.
What do you think you're going to feel like when that final siren goes on Saturday?
Oh, look, it's been tough. It's been a tough year, but I've said this a lot. We've culturally and inside the 4 walls in the football department, they've done a great job, the players and staff, to hold it all together. And you know, you get criticism in this game, and you deserve it. It's a brutal industry, but we've had more success and been more fractured before. So I'm really proud of what they've done. But the season will finish, and we can take a deep breath and get on with next year. But we've got a game to have a crack at this week, and we'll get through that, and we'll make decisions after that.